Okay, here we are, Ford Fusion 2011. We have a wrench there, and we have no throttle all the way to the floor. It's just idling. And the code is P2111, P2111. Just sits there and idles. This is the second time this has happened. Now if we shut the engine off, wait a minute, see if we can restart it. And what's interesting is when I turn the key to the start position and I let go, it still is cranking over. Now the wrench light is out, and I now have throttle again. This is not a good situation. Alright, this is a 2011 Ford Fusion. This is to continue the documentation of the P2111 and P2112 errors where unexpectedly the throttle cuts out. I think this is a very dangerous situation, so I've decided I'm just going to go ahead and replace the entire throttle body assembly with a brand new one. I chose to do this instead of cleaning because Ford somewhere along the line changed the part number, and I believe they're aware of it, and they just changed the part number, and hopefully this is a better one. Personally, I think this should be a safety recall because right in the middle of traffic, making a left-hand turn, the throttle decides to just disengage, which is pretty dangerous. So that's why I'm not going to mess around trying to clean it or repair it. So it's a relatively straightforward job. I've never done this before, but it should be fairly easy, or it looks to be fairly easy. First thing we're going to do is we're going to disconnect the electronics portion. There is a red tab that you lift up, and you just pull the plug out. At least that's what it's supposed to do. Yeah, okay, there it is. There's the red tab, and that just slides up and down. So now that's disconnected. Next thing to do is to go ahead and remove the air intake hose. It's just a worm drive gear. Just loosen that up, and hopefully it'll just slide right off. Yeah, okay. So there's that. See if we can get that out of the way for the camera. It doesn't want to do that, so okay. There are 4 bolts that need to be removed. Two on the top, 2 on the bottom. Okay, that went fairly easy. Hopefully I can remove these without dropping them. Okay, there's one. And finally, the last bolt. And there it is. There's the complete assembly. The back end seems to be kind of dirty. Front end looks perfectly clean. So the intake side is okay. The output seems to be kind of a little greasy. So that might be what's going on with it. But like I say, Ford did change the part number, so I'm not going to mess with it. The part from Ford is, it's $170. I would not go with an aftermarket on this particular one, simply because you don't know what you're going to get. So we'll just go ahead and line up the new one and start reinstalling the bolts. Okay, I'll just go ahead and run these down, just hand tight. And finally, we'll just go ahead and tighten them down. Remove the plastic protector and go ahead and reconnect the air intake. And then finally, reconnect the electronics. Push it all the way down, make sure that the red tab is pushed down. Okay, the last step you want to do is you want to replace the air filter. It's relatively simple. Just remove the old one. It's always a good idea to kind of vacuum out. There's a little bit of dirt down in the bottom, so we'll just go ahead and we'll vacuum that out. And next, or the last thing I do is just put the new filter in and reinstall the cover. Just re-inspect all the work, make sure all the things are connected, and then finally, the moment of truth. We start this thing up. As you can see, it's well worth doing this yourself because, you know, for $170 for the part, you know, any dealer or local mechanic's probably going to charge you probably between $450 and $650 to do this job. And I mean, it's so easy to do. Anyone that can use a screwdriver can do this job. So.